Good morning. November 11th, 2024, Monday, Veterans Day. Today, if you have a flag, get it out there, wave it, post it up there, run it up the pole. It's a good day to be an American. Thankful for those that have served our country. Good morning, Dreama. Glad you're on here. We had a good day yesterday, I thought. Good group of people. Sunday morning, Sunday night. It's a blessing. I know that a lot of people don't come out on Sunday night, but they really ought to. It's really a blessing. It is really a family atmosphere, and just all the kids are downstairs, and we worship together for an hour. I love the time of testimonies. I like to hear what is going on with people and what God's doing, and I think it's an encouragement to everyone. It does keep growing. I don't know, our culture is so different anymore. So many have, many that come to our church have come out of, I don't know, the more contemporary style churches that more or less just have one service a week and one big service, that's it. I just really think there ought to be more than that. I mean, Sunday morning is a wonderful morning. I love our connections class that we have. Kind of basic training for believers, and so that's good. And then the Sunday morning service is good. I love it, but it's busy. I'm trying to get around to see everyone. Don't get that done usually, and it is hard. But then Sunday night, it's kind of a family atmosphere, and it's just I don't know. It's just a good service, and you got to try it sometime. If you don't come, you ought to sometime and give that a try. Wednesday night is good. I know people got all kinds of stuff going on through the week, and then the church adds more to it. But really, I know I'm a pastor, but I think if you give up anything, don't give up church, give up some of the other things, and you'll find out it'll be healthy for your family. So you just don't have to have your kids involved in everything. You don't. They're going to be okay. They will develop just fine. Give them a stable home, and one that encourages them to walk with God, and they don't have to be involved in 19 different activities, and you'll find out they will be okay. And anyway, enough of that. I was trying to, I want your guys' opinion on something, okay? We get this a lot, but my devotion, I can do what I want to, right? So I really would want you to leave your comment on here. We're not here to argue over it. I just want to know what your opinion is, okay? So we have a lady in our church that contacted me today, and there's a family that lives across from her that doesn't come to church. Matter of fact, probably doesn't know the Lord. So an unsaved couple. Their littlest child, 18 months old, has had some severe health issues from birth. Needs pretty much 24-hour care. So she stays home, and the dad works. He works at Cargill. But as you guys know, it is extremely difficult to make it on one salary. And not everyone is able to have come in here and gotten a house when they were cheap. But these guys rent. Rent is sky high. And, but anyway, our neighbor who goes to our church, or this lady that goes to our church, this is her neighbor. And she said, hey, Pastor, I know that their car is broken down right now. They're struggling. They need a battery. It's a couple $100 for a battery. I know she said they just went to the grocery store yesterday, but they have a window that needs replaced in the house that's busted. And they're just running on fumes, whatever money they have is gone. And we can get into the spiritual side of things too. I understand that. Okay. But we're talking about an unsaved family that doesn't know anything. So anyway, this lady in our church asked, should we help them out? Do something, maybe, go and put a battery on the car, maybe give them some more groceries, or maybe fix the window, which we could probably do that, not be a big deal. Anyway, what do you guys think? Should we help someone like that? So you can put your comments on here, and I'll try to read them all later, or I can see them as they come up. I can read, and I don't care whether you're a member of our church or not. Okay, I want to know your opinion. What you think we should do? Should we help someone that hasn't asked, but obviously struggling? Said that she's a witness to the wife, and the wife's dealing with some depression just because of the stress. And what we do isn't really going to stop the problem, but it might at least show them and give them a little bit of hope, maybe, to know that there's good people out there. I don't know. So, those of you, should we help a family that's not a part of our church, that is being asked, we are being asked to help by someone who is a part of our church? And should we help them? Should we help them put a battery on their car, or fix their window, or give them some groceries? Or what do you think? We don't give money. I just, not unless I really know the person, we don't give them money. We just don't. I think that giving money can be a real problem if they're having problems with drugs or alcohol. So, all right. So, okay. Thank you, Sharon. I think that's good. It is a good job. It is a good opportunity, isn't it, to witness? And Trista, same thing. And that's my thought. We can give them a track. They have 4 kids. We could invite those kids to come to Quam, maybe. And anyway, we don't make it a habit to help someone over and over and over, but maybe this one time. So you guys just keep throwing out your comments, and I'll check it throughout the day, see what you guys think too. All right. So something else I was reading. Yeah. So maybe this will be the devotion today. I don't know. So what we used to do, we used to have a fund. Benevolent fund, and if we had money in there, we could use it to help people. I just got to the point I didn't like watching over that. Anyone, didn't care to do that. So we just take it out of the general fund. If someone comes to church asking for help, I tell them that, look, you need to come to a service, and it would be a good thing for you to do that. If they come, and if I'm really questioning them, I tell them, you got to come to a service, and then I just go around and pick people out of the church that serves as a committee, and they decide whether we help them or not. It's never the same committee. It's a different group of people, and I've found that most people want money, but they're not willing to stay for a service and get any kind of help. So, and a lot of times it's not good anyway, what they're wanting with it. But In this case, they haven't asked. We're just offering something, and we just do that out of the generosity of those who give to the church. And we don't share that with everyone all the time, but anyway, we do, and our people are so generous, and I never want to take advantage of that. But so, all right, so right now everybody is saying definitely help. Okay, good. All right, well, we can do something, and I thought about talking to one of our men that's a carpenter that can fix the window. I thought about we could get a battery, put on the car. It's not that difficult to do. And maybe give them some groceries. So it's my thought. But anyway, yep. All right. So I was reading in Psalm 109 today. And first of all, too, let's thank our veterans today. Make sure that you tell those veterans, thank you for serving our country and making it the country that it is, and so appreciate them, and fly your flag high today. I'm enjoying life now since some really good things have happened this week. I mean, we had great meetings with Dwight and Paul. We had a great day yesterday in church. We had a great election where we got rid of for at least 4 years now, the godless, anti-biblical, anti-Christian, anti-God government for a while. And then we had yesterday the Chiefs beat the Broncos. So how could it get any better, right? Ever since the election on Tuesday, I've been drinking cream and sugar in my coffee. I mean, it's such a good day. But hey, I was reading this in Psalm 109. Maybe you guys can help me with this too. I'm needing a lot of help today. It's a Monday. My brain is not working well today. But David writes this, and I mean, he starts this off. He says, "Hold not thy peace, O God of my praise. For the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are opened against me. They have spoken against me with a lying tongue. They compassed me about with words of hatred and fought against me without a cause. For my love, they are my adversaries, but I give myself unto prayer. And they have rewarded the evil for good and hatred for my love. See thou a wicked man over him, and set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand. When he shall be judged, let him be condemned, and let his prayers become sin. Let his days be few, and let another take his office. Let his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow. Let his children be continually vagabonds, and beg. Let them seek their bread also out of the desolate places. Let the extortioner catch all that he hath, and let the stranger spoil his labor." I mean, it goes on. Psalm 109 goes for 31 verses, and majority of those, at least all the way through verse 20, talks about calling on judgment on the wicked. And we have so many today that I believe there would be many preachers today, many churches today that would condemn what God preserved in his word in Psalm 109. And that they would say, oh, we need to be praying for them, and we need to be praying for their salvation. Yes, we should. But Lord, if they're not going to be saved, then we pray like Psalm 109. There isn't anything. Why would God put that in there if he's condemning it? And it's against his nature. It's obviously not against his nature. It's who he is. He's the one that wrote it. He's the one that spoke it. And through David. And so we need to, I don't know, we need to get past the pacificity that so many think that Christians ought to be in everything, and get our hearts right. I mean, guys like John Piper, what a joke. I mean, he has he's a big Calvinist preacher. He came out after the Trump election, and so we traded we traded one evil for another evil, and that jackwagon he's also the one that came out and said that if someone broke into his house, he wasn't sure whether he had it in him to take out the life of the intruder, even if he was getting ready to kill his own wife. I mean, how far do we go in this pacifist idea? And I mean, he obviously then must condemn the Revolutionary War. He must condemn every war. He must condemn every veteran. And I don't know. I mean, I don't understand his way of thinking whatsoever. And people act like he is such a guru and such a magnificent preacher. And I've heard him preach before, and people want to think he's such an intellect. In my opinion, he's shallow as a mud puddle. And I don't understand these people. When you have a psalm like this, I mean, David prayed that, God, you take them out. Get them out of there. Remove them. And not only that, but let his posterity be cut off. And in the generation following, let their name be blotted out. Let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered with the Lord. And let not the sin of his mother be blotted out. I mean, that's powerful. I mean, that's strong, isn't it? So, because that he remembered not to show mercy, but persecuted the poor and needy man, that he might even slay the broken in heart. I mean, he goes on, and it just reminds me that we don't have to walk around with a chip on our shoulder, and we don't have to ask God to remove someone just because we disagree in our ideas. But this wickedness that has been so prevalent, remove them. I think that we have to, I don't know, we have to do some rethinking on some things and learn to pray and not, like I said, don't walk around with a big chip on your shoulder and just because somebody disagrees with you on ideas, think that they need to be destroyed. But when there is some actual wickedness that's standing up and godlessness against God, yeah, God, remove that. Get it out of there and don't let it exist any longer around us. And I don't know. It's a good day, and it's a wonderful day that we can speak truth and not be censored. And I'm sure Mr. Zuckerberg is going to be careful now, maybe a little bit, in how he has censored everybody. And I don't know, maybe I need to figure out how to do, I don't know if you can do anything live on Twitter or not. Maybe I need to move over to Twitter and jump off of Facebook altogether, and where you're not going to get censored. Anyway, and then maybe a little less today on some things in the devotions, but I wanted to talk to you earlier about what I did about helping someone. But then I saw in Ezekiel 23 today, not going to cover any of that, but you can go back and read that. And just, we need to know that sin is going to be judged, and we need to be willing to get things right in our heart and stand for what's right, and live in a pure way. And I wrote in my devotion, it says this in Ezekiel 22:30, and I sought for a man among them that should make up the hedge and stand in the gap before me for the land, that I should not destroy it, but I found none. We need to understand that we live in a crazy country, and it's been headed in a downward spiral for years, and we all know that. And there have been some that have moved out of this state because they're tired of the liberalism and the godlessness, and they have bailed on our state here in Colorado, but what happens if every good person does that? Who's going to stand in the gap? Who's the one that is going to make up a hedge and stand there for the land and for the people that are here? And we need to stay where we're planted and grow there and stay there and be godly there and take the challenges that come and stand up for what's good, stand up for what's right, and don't let the wickedness win, and let's continue to be there and continue to help people and know that this is our calling. Not everybody is called for an easy life, and we need to stand up and do what's right and be there and do what it is that God's called us to do, and remember what Jesus has done for us. Look at this. Hebrews 10, actually the whole book of Hebrews, you want to learn about the ministry of Jesus and how powerful it is, get in the book of Hebrews. And it blows the old Judaistic ideas out of the water with the Old Testament priests, where they want to get back, the Jews today have their priests and their prayers. The Catholics have their priests and their prayers. And the book of Hebrews blows that out of the water and shows us that the one priest that you need is the great high priest, and it's Jesus. And he's changed things up, and thankful for that. It tells us this: but this man, Jesus, after he had offered one sacrifice for sins forever, sat down on the right hand of God. Look, he has dealt with the sins of the world. He has dealt with the sins of all mankind, not just the elect. He has dealt with the sins of all mankind. And for by one offering, he hath perfected forever them that are sanctified. And that's our assurance, guys, that if you have trusted Christ, then he has set you apart, and there is coming a day when you will be perfected. Not in this world, but at death and the completion of our life here will be the consummation of our salvation. And there we will see and know and understand perfection. And how good it is to know that Jesus has done this. And then he says in verse 17, their sins and iniquities will I remember no more. Isn't that good? I mean, the Jesus that we serve, he's worth everything. And in that, he goes on, right? And he tells us this. And he says, let us draw near with a true heart in full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. That's what salvation does for us. Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that promised. Look, have you trusted Christ as your Savior? Then live accordingly. And know that God will always keep his word, and don't doubt your salvation. Don't let someone cause you to doubt your salvation. God is true to his word, and when you called on Jesus to be your Savior, he saved you, and he will keep you forever. And be fully assured of that. And you know one way that you are fully assured of that? It says, let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works. Get around good people. Get around solid people that love God. And guess where they're at? Not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together, as the matter of some is, but exhorting one another, and so much the more as you see the day approaching. Get in church. I'm telling you. Get in church, serve the Lord, encourage others, find encouragement from others, and live in this crazy, wicked world, and stand for righteousness, and watch God do something great in your life. It really is that easy. Let's just be right with God and live for him, and we'll find out that he is always true to his word and what he says he'll do. And let us be faithful and honorable in what we do, right? Anyway, that's Monday's musings, and I am going to get off of here. I'll check back in the comments later, see if anybody else wants to comment on whether we help this lady out or not, and her kids and husband, and Anyway, I'm just curious what other people think. So it's Monday. It's a pretty day today. I am thankful for the sunshine. And let's get out there, give somebody a tract, tell somebody about Jesus, encourage a believer, and let's live for God today. God bless you guys.